Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostep and this is going to be part 21 of my early campaign where I'm playing as the Byzantines. And in the last episode I was able to finally engineer a German civil war by destroying their crusade that was, this was their second crusade that was sent my way, but it was simply just brought up here in Hungary and I just jumped over the border. I actually had to jump over a river border and I was able to destroy that crusade. Now I do not intend on keeping Hungary. I haven't quite decided yet what I want to do with this. But if we want to take a look at this civil war for now, they've lost quite a bit. They've lost Milan, they've lost Switzerland, and they have not had Bavaria for a while, I think. And Franconia, Saxony, Brandenburg. That's a bit, yeah. They will be fighting over Tuscany. These armies are kind of similarly matched, but the rebels might win this battle. And then they have not had Venice. This has just been a rebel army for a while. It looks like they will be hanging on to Croatia and then Austria and even Bohemia, even though there's a rebel army in here. There's enough German royalist armies that I think they will be able to hang on to Bohemia. But that's a lot. That's a lot of losses for them. And it's going to be interesting to see on my end if I can get them to get a ceasefire. That would be really nice. I am going to finish this attack just because there is a crusade marker here in Lorraine. And I know that, you know, pretty much every crusade objective is held by me. In fact, all of them are held by me. So even if I do get a ceasefire, I don't want that ceasefire to be ended right away just because they've just sent another crusade my way. That is what happened with the French, and I do not want that to happen with the Germans. So I'm going to finish this. I will destroy this crusade marker. I don't know if this is going to damage their king's influence any further. His influence is already sitting at 0, so I don't know if that is like tracked as like a negative. I don't know. But I'll do this anyway. I'll just finish the job. I doubt I will get a fight here, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Now, I did just realize that I've been like frustrated because I have not been able to get a ceasefire with the French, despite the fact that I have caused a civil war on their end as well. And I actually was able to get a ceasefire with them initially until they sent out another crusade just right away. And I kind of forgot, oh yeah, I can just get an auto ceasefire with them. Duh. Man, I keep forgetting these things. So yeah, let's have my boats leave any of the territories that border their territories. Like, I think it's just these 2 sea regions. As long as I leave the English Channel and the Gulf of Lions, I should be good. They just have 3 provinces. No, 4 provinces. But 2 of them do have ports here in Flanders and Wessex. So I could get trade back with 2 provinces if I can get that auto ceasefire with the French. I can try to fight this German boat just because I don't have peace with them yet, you know. And let's bring some boats from Skagerrak over. Oh, this fleet already moved. Okay. Next turn we'll move them over here to the Baltic Sea. We can only trade with the Pomerania. I really hope that I can actually get a ceasefire with the rebels. I really hope that's a real thing. Because, gosh, there'd be so much money in that if that's a real thing. But I will have to wait for the Mongols to come and make that a reality because I need them to take over Khazar. And once they take Khazar, then yeah, like I'll try to get an auto ceasefire. I can have my boats leave the Black Sea, and then I can have my boats leave, you know, any province I need them to leave. You know, they can all go back here to Costa Verde, so they're not bordering these regions. And yeah, they might all have to go to Costa Verde. Yeah, but still, it's going to be worth it. You know, if I can start trading with all of these rebel provinces, that would be a lot of money for me. So that is going to be the goal. But yeah, short-term goals, let's get a ceasefire with the Germans. Like, let's make that a real thing. Let's get a ceasefire with the French. And that's at least going to give me a handful of ports that I can potentially trade with. Like, if I can get a ceasefire with the Germans, that gives me a port here, and then 2 ports, and potentially Friesland if I give that back. I mean, I will give that back, but as long as they take that back. So yeah, like 2 or 3 ports, you know, that's nice. That would be good. I'll take it. In the meantime, it would be nice if other factions wanted to take advantage of this, like the Danes. They just look too weak. They really do. Like, if they were to strike out from Northumbria, what would they do? Okay, they can take Mercia for sure. Definitely take Mercia. Come on, guys. I can trade with Mercia. That'd be great. Yeah, come on, Danes. You got this. Yeah, they could take Wales as well. Do it, guys. Help me out. And then if the Spanish wanted to take Aquitaine, I don't think they're strong enough, though. A 4-star general, feudal men-at-arms, feudal sergeants. It's a banged-up army, though, but then they have armor upgrades. Spanish forces probably could still win just out of pure attrition, but... Oh, please, guys, help me out. Give me another province to trade with. Also, speaking of, I've been trying to get rid of Sicily for a while. And for those of you who are either new to the channel or confused about this strategy of giving away Sicily, which is a potentially rich province, right? Like, why would I do this? Well, for a few reasons. Like, one, I do sort of roleplay my campaigns a little bit, and I don't believe the Byzantines had any influence on Sicily during this time period, so let's just not have it. Also, though, there is a sort of abstract idea here that comes into play a lot in my campaigns, especially when I play these Glorious Achievements campaigns, which is that it's typically better, once you have your domain that you're hanging on to, it's better to try to find a way to create a balanced global map, right? Or world map. You don't really want one faction growing too strong. You want there to be a level of parity. That way, hopefully no one's really looking your way. Hopefully no one's really strong enough to compete with you. And hopefully no one is really strong enough to overcome all of the other factions. Because then what happens is that if they start to outpace you with their glorious achievements points, and then you need to go to war with that mega faction that has, say, conquered, you know, the other half of the world, then you're going to lose all of your trade. All of it's going to go away as soon as you start to fight with that other faction. So it is better overall to have a certain parity amongst factions, and that does involve trying to help out these other factions. Now, in this game, there's a certain limit to that, right? There's only so much you can do diplomatically to help other factions, but this is kind of like giving things away, right? As long as they don't take Sicily before it has gone rebel. This is where this can backfire. If they take it right now while it's still mine, then we are at war, and then the only way that I can, you know, end that war is by attacking Sicily, getting rid of them, and then getting an auto ceasefire by removing my boats from their sea regions, which is an arduous task, right? So this can backfire. I've been waiting for Sicily. It's 93% loyalty. What else can I do to make this? Oh, my freaking governor. Duh. How's my governor for this place? 5 dread. Oh, Jesus. No wonder why they won't go rebel. They're terrified. And he's giving them plus 10 happiness because he's a builder as well. Yeah, I need this guy to not be a governor anymore. Sorry, dude. I should have thought of that. So let's get a emissary to get rid of your title. Yeah, that should do it. That should do the job. I completely forgot about that. Now, okay, that covers that. So hopefully that works. The Italians could take, I mean, depending on what rebels were to take over Sicily, the Italians, they have enough royal knights. You know? And you might think like, okay, well, why, like, giving away Sicily, like, why is this going to make the Italians stronger? Like, wouldn't you want them to be stronger here? Well, they still do have a foothold. It's a tiny one, but they do have a foothold here in Genoa. And if by giving them Sicily, that gives them an income that allows them to build up and allows them to create pressure, you know, maybe they can take Milan, you know, maybe they can take Tuscany off of the rebels that will probably win this battle. Maybe they can take Venice and start building something that can create pressure on the other factions that will be here in Central and Western Europe. You know, I know the Swiss will emerge at some point. I know the Burgundians will emerge at some point. And I do hope that the Germans and the French still do exist. I don't want them to go away. I just don't want them to be a single power. So that is the idea, right? It's kind of an abstract idea, but it's not completely out of place, you know? It's not that I'm just purely role-playing here and saying, well, I don't want Sicily because the Byzantines didn't have it. Yeah, that's a part of it, but like the other part of it is that, you know, in these campaigns that I have no intention of conquering the entire map, then why would I put myself in a position where I could lose, you know, I could go in the negative as far as my income goes if, you know, I basically let a world power just run away with things. So that's the idea there. I think for Hungary, okay, now back to Hungary. What do I want to do with this? Do I actually want to finish this siege? It would take 2 turns to get rid of these guys. And what could happen here? It would be nice if rebels took over Hungary, but actually not really. I don't really want rebels here because if I have rebels on my border, then I can't get that ceasefire. So maybe I just let the Germans have it back and then hope that I can get the ceasefire with the Germans the natural way, you know, where we talk it out. I think so. I think that's going to be the play. Yeah. Yeah, let's do things that way. So let's bring my guys back home. And yeah, I don't care. I can just put that up to very high. Actually, no, let's do very low because if I don't want to create a loyalist rebellion, right? Yeah, let's give that back. And we will see how the Germans handle this mess that I've created. Now, as far as my provinces go and whatnot, let's kind of talk through this and talk about my build plans and talk a little bit about my troop production and stuff like that. So Egypt, it's already has a master merchant. It's making 3,000 florins, and this is probably all it's ever going to do. It has a citadel, it has a barbican, which is... What is a barbican? Is a barbican that, like... it's easier to describe if I'm, like, on the battlefield. But there's that section of the wall that's, like, basically a tower that sticks out by the front gate. And basically, like, lets you, like, shoot down into the attackers from the side. Is that a barbican? I should know this. I should look this up at some point. But yeah, I mean, whatever that thing is called, that's super effective. Trying to assault a citadel that has one of those things, if that's a barbican, they're deadly. They do a lot of damage. But yeah, Egypt's probably just gonna hang out. There's no threat from the Almohads. They have light cav and peasants. And they just haven't really been really proactive here, so I'm not worried about them. Sinai is being used to train Byzantine cavalry, which is my sort of my hybrid cav unit, which is a skirmish cav, but also it can fight in melee. And do I want to... Is there an upgrade I can give them? How... So they do have a master horse breeder, so they are already getting +1 valor for their Byzantine cav. That's good. Is there any other upgrades I can give this unit? I don't... Citadel? What is... I'm trying to think of what a citadel gives. I don't necessarily want to put an armor here in Sinai, just in case I ever do need to fight in a desert battle with them. But what are the chances of that, you know? I'll think about that, but for now, I think that's fine. Palestine is kind of being used as a place to train Byzantine infantry. And it looks like I'm working on a citadel here as well. And it looks like I'm having, yeah, I've built some armorer's workshop, so yeah, they're fine. Arabia was being used as a place to, as a secondary like place to train spies. In fact, let's just get another. Yeah, let's go to Stew. That's going to allow me to train spies with +1 valor. Let's get one of those. Syria. Syria is my assassin place. And Syria is that province that does give a hidden valor bonus to assassins. So I already do have a drinking den, which gives +2 valor. So these guys should be getting +3 valor altogether. Four. Okay, so he's 4. They're 4-star assassins. Does Syria give a +2? It doesn't say. I wish it said it, but no, it doesn't say it. Holy shit, does Syria give +2 valor to assassins? Holy moly. Wow. And I still have one more building I can build once I get the fortress. And then I can get 5-star assassins from Syria. Oh my god. Yeah, let's do that. Tripoli and Antioch, these are my money makers, making over 3 grand on Tripoli and then making over 5 grand on Antioch. And yeah, both of these provinces have the master merchant. That's all I need. So they're probably just going to chill out. Edessa, I kind of went, you know, did the same thing. I got the master merchant here in Edessa and Syria as well. Not making as much for 400 here and then 700 in Edessa. And then 500 in Armenia. These are all with master merchants. So I don't know if that was worth it. I do know that later in the campaign, far too late in the campaign, there's a Silk Road opens back up. So like these provinces will get more trade resources. I still don't know if that investment is worth it, but I wanted to give it a try and see how it felt. And I don't know. My treasury is okay. So it's not like I'm like, feel like I'm hurting or anything. I don't know. It's super early in the campaign, so like maybe that does even out over time. Let's see. Armenia is also being used as a place that can train horse archers. Now you might wonder, like, why would I still train horse archers if I have access to this hybrid Byzantine cav that I can train down here in Sinai? Well, the regular horse archers are still faster, and I think that's still useful to have something that can, you know, zip around the battlefield all fast like so. Yeah, let's get a horse breeder here so I can eventually get a master horse breeder for that +1 valor for the horse archers. Georgia is being used to train the Varangian guards, and I am getting an armorer's guild for +3 armor, and then the reliquary for +2 morale. This is going to be the battleground for, you know, holding off the Mongols. Something to keep in mind. Now, when I played my practice campaign for the Byzantines, maybe like a year ago by now, and I played 3 total battles against the Mongols, and it was 3 total battles. I played those 3 battles on 2 maps. 2 of those battles on one type of map, and then one of those battles on one map. And both of the maps had a suitable forested area for me to hide in and weather the storm from the Mongols. And I thought, okay, that works. As long as the Georgia has that, that's a good thing, right? If we look here, it says, you know, it's hills, inland, arid ground, no waterways. And yeah, attacking hills and mountains. This is something I just learned recently, actually, by watching another channel, Count MRVHS? Is that Mr. VHS? I still don't. You have to say your name on your channel sometimes because I don't know if that stands for. Anyway, definitely check out the Count's channel at some point because he is playing some medieval Total War, which is really fun to learn learn from his playthrough as well, because he knows a lot about this game that I didn't know these things. I just learned that when you look at this, and it will say for the vista, it'll say hills and mountains. That tells you that the order that the map is going. So they will be attacking, if they're attacking from Khazar into Georgia, their side of the map is going to have hills, and then my side of the map is going to have mountains. So higher than a hill, right? That's very interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know anytime you look at these, it tells you that the order that it's going in. And if you look at the map, it makes sense. That's literally an artistic visual, that they drew hills, right? And then my side has mountains. And so it makes sense. It's just, it's so organic. I just don't realize these things all the time. So that felt really good to learn that. It's the opposite, the other way. Oh, it's just it's so good. I'm so glad I learned that. So thank you, Count, for teaching me that one. That was a really fun thing to learn. So attacking from Khazar into Georgia offers a height advantage for me. And in my experience, it does offer forest, enough forest. However, I experienced something early in this campaign that terrified me, which is when these Khazar rebels were attacking me, I fought on a map that I had not fought on before, and I don't recall it having sufficient forested area either nearby or inside of the deployment zone. There may have been something that I can possibly march my army into after the battle that has started, but I'm kind of terrified. That's a terrifying thing, having to fight the Mongols outside of a forest. I'm hoping I don't get a draw on that map when the time comes. But anyway, maybe I need my Varangians to be my own forest. These guys will just hold the line for me and just chop through all of the Mongols. We will have to see. Trebizond, just was working on training Trebizond archers and getting upgrades for Trebizond archers, getting the Master Boyar for +1 Valor for them. Rum, I have literally nothing to do with Rum. Maybe I should just get some more farmland, because I think the farmland here is pretty decent. If I look at Rum. Obviously, okay, right. All of the farm income, 796, all of that is from the farm upgrades, and they only have the 40%. So yeah, I guess that's worth getting the 60%, I guess. I don't know math, but yeah. Lesser Armenia is being used as a spy training province. And priests, if I ever want priests. This is being used, Anatolia is being used for artillery, so I am building some trebuchets here. And then I am also getting a citadel as well. Nicaea is being used for training my Pronomaya Legion with that +1 Valor bonus. And then I am getting them retrained here in Naples for getting some armor. I just wanted to keep these guys free of armor just in case I ever needed to fight in the desert. So there's that. I'm also working on getting the Master Merchant here as well. There's only one trade resource, it's just grain, but I figured it might be worth a little something. I'm making over 1100 here in Nicaea. Constantinople, I am training cataphracts here, and I'm also getting that Master Horse Breeder for that +1 Valor for cataphracts, which is going to feel pretty good. And yeah, where do I go from there? Maybe get some of these title buildings. Yeah, the Constable's Palace and the Admiralty are going to give titles that I can hand out to generals, so that might be the direction that I go after this. Or maybe get a monastery for the +1 morale. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the monastery building is separate from the church building. I think that these give separate points of +1 morale, so that's probably still worth getting. And then the reliquary is the upgrade for the monastery, so you can get that +2 morale from the reliquary. So yeah, that's probably what I'll do here in Constantinople. Greece is also being used to train Varangian guards. And, Master Merchant. Yeah, I don't have that here yet. Yeah, I guess I was working on getting the Varangian guards. So let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get a master merchant. I'm making over 1,500 without that, so that's good. Bulgaria is working on getting that master boyar so that I can finally eventually train Bulgarian brigands. I am right now training some arbalesters, and I'm also training some Bavis crossbows, and I'm also using this to retrain my javelins here in Bulgaria. So this is sort of my infantry ranged province. Now, you might wonder why I am having Pavis crossbows and arbalesters trained at the same time, and I do think that the extra survivability of the Pavis units is worthwhile. Obviously, the arbalesters are going to kill things a lot better, but when you are just kind of like sitting in a forest, taking fire from a million Mongol units from archers for, 10 minutes, it's nice to have units that can just sit there and take that fire. And you're not necessarily going to be trying to kill all of the Mongols, right? You kind of need to also survive the Mongols and kill them over time, over multiple battles. Now, the other idea is that when I can finally train Pavis arbalesters, would I ever train regular arbalesters? And I still think the answer to that is yes. I don't think you ever want just Pavis arbalesters, because they're a lot slower. They really are a lot slower. The Pavis does give +3 extra armor and defense. As far as the shields go, like the large shield will give +2 armor and defense, and the small shield will give +1 armor and defense. The Pavis gives the most. It's huge, right? Now, I don't know if that extra armor and defense from that shield, or particularly the armor from that Pavis, makes that unit any more prone to getting tired. I think that the shield values might be separate from the armor values in that regard. I think that's the reason why the shield values are separate in the beginning. One of the things is that they do not factor into the equation when you're facing off against units that have a bonus versus armor, like axes, or ranged units that have armor piercing, like longbows or, crossbows and arbalesters and guns. The shield values remain separate from the armor when you're facing off against these units, is my understanding. Also, it is my understanding that the shield values remain separate from the armor values when you're fighting in the desert, so the shield values do not count towards your total armor value when you're trying to decide what units to bring in the desert or not. However, when we're just talking about a normal unit walking not in the desert, I don't know if that shield makes that unit tire out faster. That's what I don't know. So if you know the answer to that, I would like to hear your thoughts. Now, what I do know is that the stats for the speed, unfortunately I can't show you this in game, but the speed is a lot slower for the Pavis crossbow and arbalaster units. Now, the place where this really does matter is when you're fighting these huge battles where you need your reinforcements to hit your lines. Like, you need them on your front lines. Whether you're fighting an offensive battle or a defensive battle, even in defensive battles, a lot of times, again, if you're fighting up against the Mongols, you're going to be held up in your forest, right? Sometimes that forest is not going to be right up against the back of your map. So sometimes you're going to need these units to withdraw off of your map. And while they're withdrawing, they're going to be kind of free game to any Mongol cav units that are sort of circling your forest, looking for weaknesses. And while this is happening, it's going to be necessary to have cav units sort of shepherding your infantry units that are either withdrawing or coming onto the field as reinforcements. And for what it's worth, it's kind of nice having some units that are not as slow as a Pavis crossbow or arbalaster coming on as reinforcements, particularly during offensive fights, because the front line is usually going to be quite a bit further away from the back of your map than it is during a defensive fight, ideally, right? So that is something to consider. and something that I will probably keep in mind as I continue to train non-Pavis Arblasters as well as Pavis Arblasters throughout the rest of my campaign. That was a long-winded talk about that. Ooh, I can make this even more long-winded. This is another fun thing that I don't know all of the answers to, but I know some of the answers to. For units that have shields, and they get that, for instance, say a unit that has a large shield, it's going to get +2 defense. This is in melee combat, right? What happens is that the game actually does calculate if that unit is being attacked from the rear, that attacking unit's going to be getting +2 attack. It's an interesting way that the game developers designed a way to show that that defending unit's not getting its shield bonus because they're being attacked in the rear. That's really cool. I know that the Creative Assembly would sort of expand upon this in Rome Total War and also make it so that shield values only count from certain directions when you're getting shot. However, I don't know if this also counts for missile units here in this game. All I know is particularly if, you know, a melee unit is that they're going to get an attack bonus for attacking a shielded unit from the rear. So if you know if archers and crossbows or any ranged units get a hit bonus for shooting at shielded units from the rear, I would like to know that. In addition to that, what's interesting to me is that units like Varangian guards that do have their two-handed axe, right? You see it on the little portrait, right? But they don't fight with their shield in front of them. They fight with their shield on their backs so that they can use their two-handed axes. The shield is just for getting into combat, so it's going to protect them while they're getting shot at on the way into combat. However, once their shield is on their back, is a unit that is attacking them from the rear also going to be getting a +2 to attack them? I don't know the answer to that. See, the thing is that since Creative Assembly, I don't believe, again, that they have put an advantage for missile units shooting shielded units in the rear, but because I know they did that with melee units, giving them +2 attack, I wonder if they did that with the Varangian guards and the Huskarls, who fight with their shields on their back. That's something I don't know. So if you know the answer to that, I'm very interested in knowing, hearing what you have to say about that, because that'd just be a really neat thing to know. Anyway, all right. Moving on. I think that was long enough. Naples is being used to retrain Pronoia Legion, and then my islands are being used to train up boats. I am finally building my fire galleys here, and I'm not going too crazy with it. I'm kind of building them slowly, just to, I don't know. I don't really need a lot of them right now, but, and they cost money. And my income's not super great. It's over $1,000, which is like fine, but it's like at the same time I would like a better income before I go full on with building more boats. So that is my long-winded explanation of what's going on right now, and I will be obviously, you know, preparing for those attacks from the Mongols, which are going to be coming in roughly, what, like 15, 18 years? Something? 20 years? Something like that. I think I have a son on the way. Yeah, Prince Manuel is going to be of age in 9 years, and my emperor should live to see his son come of age. So those are going to be happy days when that happens. Other than that, though, the only real action is going to be me withdrawing from the German territory and me attempting to get these ceasefires with the French and the Germans. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, yes, Italy. Go, Italy. Take Milan. That's what I wanted to see. Absolutely perfect. So yes, rebels captured. Oh, so I did have to fight some rebels here in Lorraine. I just auto-resolved that. That was fine. Release them all. And then bandits in Sicily. This is perfect. That's what I wanted to see. And it looks like a very, very small force as well. And The Spanish king has died and heir has taken over, and a general of mine has died of old age. And yeah, looks like my guy was removed of his title. He's no longer the governor of Sicily. And let's see, catching papal assassins. Master merchants finished here in Nicaea. Master horse breeder is finished here in Constantinople. And what do we have here in Sicily? A unit. Pavese crossbows. Oh, perfect. Alright, well, one more turn, and this unit will take over Sicily. And then from there, just wait one more turn, Italians. Just wait one more turn, and then it's all yours. And yeah, speaking of which, so if they do not attack the castle, this is going to last 3 turns. I'd advise these guys to wait. They only have three units of archers and 2 units of royal knights, so yeah, I would advise you guys to wait this one out, and then you can take Milan back. I wonder, I would assume Milan is rich, but I actually don't know. They only have silk as only tradable goods, so there's that. And yes, we did destroy the Crusade marker here in Lorraine. Looking around, I don't know if that did anything else to the Germans. They were already in pretty bad shape. So let's just withdraw. Go back to Friesland. It seems like the nice thing about attacking in this sort of overwhelming force is that, let's go, yeah, very, very low. Yeah, very low. Is that, there's no fights. As long as people keep retreating from these armies, there's no fights, which means there's no sacking, which means hopefully that means the port doesn't get destroyed. That seems to be the case so far. So that would be nice, because I don't want to have to like stay here long enough to, you know, rebuild that port. Oh yeah, I was like, damn it, I was trying to get rid of the German boats, and I forgot that I needed to split my fleets up into fast boats and fighting boats. Yep, I forgot. That's my lesson. That's what I need to do. Now let's move these boats into the Baltic Sea so that I can train with Pomerania once I get this ceasefire with the French. We're not quite there yet. I think I have to wait one more turn before this happens. But no longer than that. Oh, now this is wonderful. Yes, finally the Spanish have made a move. They have attacked Aquitaine, and the rebels have retreated. I was able to sink a French boat here in the English Channel, and that's pretty important because I've not been able to get my troops home from Friesland, and we were able to sink a caravel. Yeah, I had to bring a lot of boats into the Straits of Gibraltar to sink a caravel. Caravels are good boats, and it was clogging up the Straits of Gibraltar, which was, you know, really hampering my trade quite a bit. So yeah, I don't want to stay here in Friesland. I've been stuck. My troops have been stuck. And let's see, we are catching an assassin working for the Pope. And we can finally train Bulgarian brigands here in Bulgaria. That's going to be nice. Horse breeder is finished here in Armenia. And let's see, anything. So here's where we're at. A couple turns later, I've realized a few things, right? I need to get my troops home first before I can even get a ceasefire with the French, because I'm bordering them here, which is super annoying. I also need to get boats out of the Irish Sea so that I can, you know, this is also bordering them as well. And what that led to was that I couldn't get that ceasefire, and then right when that happened, they got some French boats in the water, and I think, am I clear now? Can I finally get my guys home? Yes, I can. Okay, thank God. Let's get my guys home so that we can give up Friesland. Yeah, this is taking a few turns longer than I would have liked, and I'm losing a lot of money during this time as well. How much am I losing right now? Okay, I'm making 47 florins. Oh, lovely. Yes, perfect. Nice. Yeah, I'm down to 161,000, which seems like a lot, but I would like to, you know, get my income going, which Yeah, so all right, let's give up Friesland. There's still 20 German soldiers here in this castle, so they will take this immediately. And then from there, I can, yeah, so let's get my boats out of the English Channel. Now that I have removed my men from this territory, let's get my boat out of the Irish Sea. And then we should be able to get that auto ceasefire with the French. Man, oh man, that's kind of taken me a little while here. And I've been losing trade all of this time as well, so that's looking okay. The Italians did finally take Sicily, and hopefully they're going to hang on to it. They have very low taxes and loyalties at 97%. There's no port here, so we are still making land trade, so that's good. Did I destroy the port, or was that an accident? I hope that wasn't me. That might have been me. I don't know. I might have destroyed it. I get a little over-destructive sometimes. But, yeah, you know, hopefully the Italians can eventually build something back, because they have finished taking the province of Milan now. The garrison, the rebel garrison is gone, and now they're making a fat 375 off of Milan. So, hopefully with that income, they can build a port here in Sicily. They do need to build other things like, you know, a fort and then a port. So, hopefully that's going to be fine. The Germans, I can't tell if they're stabilizing or not. Like, they don't have Austria, but then they took Venice, which has been held by rebels like the entire campaign. And is there like another civil war? What's going on here? Yeah, there's another civil war. Did I do this? Was this because of the chapter thingy, the chapter Crusade marker being burned here in Lorraine? Did I do that? Yeah, there's another civil war going on. It's the same. He has two influence. Yeah, this is okay. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Back-to-back civil wars. Okay. So yeah, they're kind of struggling, but once they take back Friesland, yeah. Next turn, I will try to get a ceasefire with them, and yeah, if we could get ceasefires with the French and the Germans at the same time, and then get some trade going, like that'd be really good. Oh, that'd be nice. That would be nice. In the meantime, though, you would think I would stop training stuff, but I'm still training. I'm still going. So I need to get ready for the Mongols. And check out the Bulgarian Brigands. This is the unit that I've just been working towards for literally the entire campaign. Is it worth it? Probably not. Probably not. But you know, they're good. It's a good unit. It's just the build requirements are insane. The independent peoples in the Balkans have always been difficult for outsiders to rule. The Bulgar Brigands are organized and tough enough to be mercenaries. They are tactically flexible fighters, well able to use both bows and swords, but may lack moral fiber in a crisis. And that refers to the fact that their morale is not as high as like other hybrid archery units. So like, I wish I had the stats in front of me right now, but the Trebizond archers, for instance, have a higher attack, but then the Bulgarian Brigands have higher defense, and I believe they're also faster. I believe this is a unit that's probably better for instance, if I were to use my skirmish wave strategy, the Bulgarian Brigands would be a better force to bring in that first wave because they can potentially outrun other infantry units better. Still not going to outrun a horse, but they can still, you know, they can get away a little bit faster. But then their morale is not as good, and that's how it compensates. However, then like it kind of swings back the other way as well. There is some good stuff here, right? Because the support cost is only going to be 30 florins. Costs 300 a train. And if we compare that to the Trebizond archers, where the support cost is 52, it's quite a bit more. Now the Trebizond archers are a little bit cheaper to train initially, costing only 275. But that support cost of 52 is pretty hefty. That's definitely pretty hefty. And yeah, I mean, they're both worth it, I think. And I think that having hybrid archer units can be a pretty fun thing to have, especially once they're jacked. Like, you know, getting the +1 valor from the province, plus the +1 valor from the boyars. Yeah, I'm still working on that master boyar. But that's going to be good. You know, that's going to create it's a good unit. It's a good unit that can fight better in melee than you would think. And same with the Bulgarian brigands. These are units that can probably... I'm thinking a lot about how the Byzantines can really compete in the late game once they don't have access to the Varangian guards. Now, I'm training so many Varangian guards that it's probably... I don't even know if it's going to be... I might just have enough to last me the entire campaign. So this might become a moot point, but I'm thinking about in the future, eventually when I do play a late Byzantine campaign where the Varangian guards will not be available, meaning that the premier heavy infantry unit in this game will not even be available to the faction that can use that unit. How does the late Byzantine army even compete? Well, I think there's some tools that are not as well explored because people just assume that they are inferior. Things like the Pronoia Legion, you know, which is a unit that I think can hit above its weight a bit, and the Cataphracts even, you know, these units aren't as good as the Western Heavy Knights, but I think they can be used, you know, as long as they're used tactically well, in addition to the Byzantine infantry. But I think that sort of an overlooked tool is the hybrid archers. The Trebizond archers and the Bulgarian brigands, along with naphtha throwers. I know that I have not shown yet good naphtha play at all in any of my campaigns, but I still believe that there's a way to use them that I have not quite accessed yet. I have ideas. I'm formulating some ideas that I'm working on. I'm kind of testing some things in custom battles and seeing how to better use them. So, you know, give me another 1,000 hours. I'll get there. I'll figure out naphtha throwers. By the time I get to the late Byzantine campaign, you know, years down the road, I might know how to use naphtha throwers. And I think that could be a secret tech tool in addition to these hybrid archer units to create a surprisingly efficient melee force for the Byzantines. You know, even without their heavy infantry, the Varangian guards, I think there's still some teeth here and it's worth exploring. Oh, this is perfect. Yes, awesome. So the Germans have accepted my offer of a ceasefire. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. And I have another son on the way. Okay, well, I don't think he'll be necessary, but it's always nice to have. And I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully, let's see, is any of this +10 happiness and agricultural production for one of my governors. That's always nice to see. So has my income gone up? All right, sitting at 916. All right, I'll take it. And I also had the auto ceasefire with the French. Perfect. Yes, awesome. Yes, awesome. That's so good. All right, let's repair these trade thingies, trade routes. Yes, let's do that. And then let's do you down here. And that should be good. Yes, that should be good. Yeah, that's going to be getting me trade with a few more. What do the French have right now? They have Flanders and then they have Wessex. So 2 ports right there. And the Spanish have finished taking Aquitaine as well, so that's an additional port that I can trade with. And if the French wanted to go ahead and build a port in Toulouse, that'd be wonderful. Looks like the Germans have retaken Tuscany, unless this is unless the Civil War won and they reversed it. Yeah, it looks like Germany has a lot of their territories back, it appears. So it seems like maybe, yeah, I guess they're stabilizing maybe, which, you know, hey, that's fine as long as, you know, they don't go to war with me again. That'd be nice. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I should take a peek and see if they have any chapter houses built up that I should. Yeah, they do have a chapter house here in Burgundy. They do. I could invade from Provence and take out Burgundy if that comes to it. And yeah, they don't have one in Lorraine because I destroyed that. I need to get a priest back over to Swabia. And is there any other chapter houses? Is it just Burgundy? I think it's just Burgundy is what I'm seeing. Oh, no, they do have one here in Croatia. Okay, well, it's right there. So if I need to destroy that later on, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Well, welcome back, Novgorods. Yeah, whoa. Number of rebel provinces joining the revolt is 10? Whoa! Oh man, that's gonna be, those are provinces that I'm going to be able to trade with. Oh, welcome back. Just in time to help me fight up against the Mongols. Yes. Oh, you are so welcome back. Oh, that's so nice. I love that. I love that so much. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, it's back. It's back. It's just the only two rebel provinces is Volga, Bulgaria, and then Khazar. Of course, freaking Khazar. Oh, if I could just have this not be rebel, then, you know, potentially I could get a ceasefire with the rebels. But yeah, all in due time. Because the Novgorods are going to have their work cut out for them if they're going to help me fight up against the Mongols. They have some decent armies here, though. Yeah, they're horse archers, they're boyars, or not that's a mounted crossbow, but do they, where's their boyars? Do they not have boyars? Do they not have boyards? What's going on? Boyars are like they're, here they are. Yeah, it's a hybrid horse archer unit. It's very, very good. I think it might be the best hybrid horse archer unit in the game. And it's what they get for their royal bodyguard units instead of royal knights. They are fantastic. Also, they have Vikings and they have Steppe Heavy Cav, which is a hybrid unit as well, but it's a heavy hybrid unit. In fact, that's probably a better fighter than a boyar. And woodsmen are cheap, but they have a bonus versus armor, so that's helpful. And some light Steppe Cav. Yeah, these are some decent armies. And then just a crap ton of mounted crossbows. Armor piercing bolts versus Vikings, yes please. Some Pavis arblasters as well, some regular arblasters. Bunch of these units, a bunch of Vikings. Oh wow, I wonder if they're gonna put up a decent fight against the Mongols. Oh, that would be so nice. That'd be so cool. That would be so cool. And how's my trade? Sitting at 10 grand. Last turn it was sitting at 6. That was with the ports, you know, being able to trade with the French ports and the German ports. Now, with the Novgorods, it's sitting at over 10 grand. I'm back, baby. Oh, yes. Oh, it feels good. Oh, it feels good. That's 10 grand that I'm making with this. Like, look at how many armies I have. You know, like, Egypt's pretty light, but, like, this is not light. This is a heavy, medium-sized, you know, Western Front. And then I'm just piling in here in Georgia as well. And I'm still making over 10 grand. Damn, that feels good. Oh, it feels good to have some trade partners back. Oh, man. Now, it's just the Hungarians are the only ones that aren't at peace with me. I wonder if they'd say, I did ask them during this episode off camera, and they turned me down, but I wonder if they would change their mind. At this point, it doesn't even matter because they don't have ports. They have 2 inland provinces. The only province I'd be able to trade with is Wallachia, and that'd be overland trade, which is not as profitable. but I would be able to trade my grain from Bulgaria to Wallachia, and that's it. That's all I would make, which is probably not going to be much. So it's not a big deal not having them as trade partners. Oh, and just as I was celebrating, here is a Crusade marker here in Croatia. Yeah, I kind of was wondering if I would have to go teach the Croatian Germans a little bit of a lesson here. So, yeah, I mean, do it, guys. Fuck around and find out. Test me. Test me. Your Emperor Lothair II has gone from 0 influence to 5, so I guess you think you, I guess you're starting to think that you can build your empire back up. Well, no. I will ruin you. I will ruin you. Send a crusade my way. I will ruin you. I have so many armies. So, yeah. Yes. I can easily send 3 armies from Serbia, and I can, you know, reinforce Serbia with armies from Bulgaria. I can even, you know, send some armies back from Georgia if I need to. I can do that. I can invade Croatia. I can get rid of that crusade. I will wait at least, you know, for a turn. You know, I'm not going to make the first move here. I'll let them declare the war before this happens. I really hope the Italians can build up Sicily and at least get a port here. That would be... I'm rooting for you guys. I'm rooting for you guys. Come on. You got this. And yeah, we'll see if the Germans want to build a crusade marker here in Burgundy as well. So it's worth keeping an eye on that. The Spanish, yeah, I mean, it's going to get tougher from here, guys. You've taken Aquitaine. That's good. You're making 600 florins off of it. That's good. But this army in Anjou is a tough nut. You know, these are feudal men-at-arms, feudal sergeants, mounted sergeants. Those are all tough units. And the Spanish armies are still behind the times. They have militia-style units. They do have royal knights and stuff, but they have genites, which are good, but yeah. It's going to be tough for them to take any of their provinces. And really, that's what the French are struggling with as well. You know, how to take back their, you know, these armies that were theirs. They're good, you know, they're decent armies. Well, the ones in Brittany are kind of not great, but there's a lot of men there, so. And it's too bad the Danes haven't. Look at how many royal knights you have. You can easily take the forces in Mercia. And then Wales. Come on, guys, you got this. Take these provinces. Then I can trade with you. Prince Manuel has finally come of age. Oh, wonderful. Looks like, is he a 4-star general? Ooh. He might be good. Reliquary is finished here in Nicaea, +2 morale for my Pronomia Legion. Citadel's finished here in Anatolia. I think I'm working towards the upgraded siege engineer building. And yes, this was inevitable. The Germans have declared another crusade against myself, Antioch. How original. How freaking original. And yeah, the Hungarians really don't want a ceasefire. They just want to be at war eternally. Prince Manuel, secret blackmailer, so once this is found out, he's going to lose loyalty, so it's going to be worth checking on his loyalty to see how that goes. My emperor's not going to be around too long, so Prince Manuel will be Emperor Manuel in due time. Killer Instinct, he has a talent for killing, so this is going to give him +2 Valor and +1 Dread. Alright, should be a good fighter. In combat, he looks like a 4-star general, from what I see. And his loyalty is fine. Even if he loses, I think the blackmailer thing makes him lose 3 loyalty, and he's going to be fine. A crap ton of dread. Holy shit. 7 dread, 4 command, and then 5 acumen. That's more acumen than the emperor, so he's going to help out my economy for a bit once he becomes the emperor. Yeah, he might be all right. He might be okay. Yeah, that's good stuff. And even with the Germans at war with me, I'm still making almost 6 grand. That it helps having the Novgorods back, doesn't it? And it's in Hungary. Interesting. All right, so the Crusade is in Hungary. That's some, yeah, Teutonic Knights. Those are good. 4 units of Teutonic Knights. That's a good unit for sure. And it didn't come. Okay, I'm confused. There's a chapter house here in Hungary, and then there's a chapter house in. I'm not tripping, right? Like there was a Crusade marker here in Croatia, right? It's confusing that it was declared and then now it's here in Hungary. So I don't even know what province to attack. That's confusing. That's confusing. I guess I should attack both provinces? I can do that. I can attack both provinces. I can literally attack Croatia with everything from Serbia. I can literally attack everything. Ooh, that river. Fucking river. I don't want to fight a river battle. And this is a river battle. But from Croatia, it is not. Ha 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 ha. Yes, that's going to be the key. From now on, anytime I attack Hungary, it's going to be through Croatia. So even if you guys did not create the Crusade, you're screwed because I can attack Hungary without having to cross a freaking river. And that's going to be the goal. So I will just do my due diligences, come into Croatia, destroy the chapter house just to make sure, then attack Hungary, do the same thing. I can bring over 1 million armies from Georgia in the meantime if I have to, because we still do have 10 to 15 years before the Mongols show up. I don't know if it's 10 or 1235 or 1230 or 1233. It's coming up. It really is coming up. But I think I have enough time to screw over the Germans, you know, one more time because they did it first. They screwed me over, and I'm not about that. I want to continue trading with them because I want to get that income back. Now that I had a taste, I want it back. I saw that number, and I know how good it can be, and I want it. It was the new Danish guy. Yeah, it's not. The Danes are not doing well. In any case, that is all going to have to wait till next time. As always, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. As always, this has been Concept playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.